Hello and welcome to another episode of Keep Pushin' with SUJIT K. Reddy. Today on our show, we have an amazing guest for you, Koszycka, who is a friend of mine who is doing amazing things in Toronto, and I wanted to share that with all of you, for all of you to possibly come out and be a part of it in some way, shape, or form. So we'll be back with you in a few seconds. Welcome back, and we're back here with a good friend of mine, Koszycka, who I met just recently, but it was funny because she and I had been going to several of the same events, but we'd never met, and we always seemed to have been at the other opposite end of the room. And it was only recently that we met, actually, and we discovered that we had a lot of the same ideas and interests and passions around people with disabilities and enhancing the lives of people with disabilities. And so before we get to that, though, I want to just talk to Ella to kind of find out more about Ella and her story and where she's come from, where she is, and where she wants to go. So with that, Ella, hi, welcome. Can you tell us a little bit about where you grew up, how you grew up, and your experiences as a child?
I grew up in Poland, in a very small town, and I have a disability, cerebral palsy, on my right side. So I've been through a little bit of surgeries, physio, and in general, when I was a child, I spent a lot of time in hospitals with doctors, but eventually my disability got a little bit better, so now it doesn't affect me as much as when I was a child. And I grew up in a loving family, and then when I was 12, I moved to Canada.
Fantastic.
Yes.
So having moved to Canada, tell me a little bit about the adjustment at 12. Like, I remember when I was 12. Tell me about friends you may have had, how that happened, how that worked. I mean, was there a language barrier there, or was there some sort of barriers? And tell me about school. Tell me about school when you first came to Canada. Yeah, absolutely.
So I came in grade 8. So that's the time when kids are a little bit, not even mean, but everyone to me was nice when I came to Canada, but I have a positive set of mind. So when I meet new people, I'm always friendly and I'm always positive. So to me, it's just, I only absorb the positive energy from people, nothing negative. So my experiences were amazing. When I was in high school, I joined many organizations. I was actually even a founder and a president in high school of Best Buddies, which is an organization that connects people with intellectual disabilities with regular people to create friendships. So that's kind of when my passion for being social and connecting people on a social level started.
Okay, that's fantastic.
Yes.
I did not actually know that about you yet. So then beyond, I guess, that was high school.
That was high school.
So talk to me about your postgraduate life in terms of student life and all that kind of stuff.
You know what, I've been always, at the beginning, I wasn't that social. I was very I grew up in like a very Catholic-oriented environment, and I wouldn't say closed-minded, but then I went to university and I met people with different religion, different backgrounds, and then I just saw a different world in high school. So I opened my mind more to being more accepting of all. I wouldn't say that in high school I was judgmental, but you can tell that a little bit. So in university, I changed my outlook at the world. And then slowly I start working, and here I am now.
So you went from being very reserved to being more
open,
outgoing.
Yes,
I mean,
definitely.
when I first met you, I found you to be that energetic, outgoing person.
I
and
was always energetic.
Impressed by that. So there's that. So tell me a little bit about your family. You kind of alluded to it in terms of, growing up in a family and being a person with a disability, and amongst not only nuclear immediate family, but also your extended family
Yes.
and friends. Tell me a lot about that experience, in Poland
I
and even
was
here.
very fortunate in both, in Canada and in Poland. Everyone was very helpful to me, very accepting. They never made me feel that I have a disability.
Sure.
Even the opposite. They would call it like princess behavior if I needed like a little bit of help here and there because I have a bit of problems with my balance, I have problems with my hands.
Sure.
So they were very loving. I cannot say anything bad about my family and my friends. Everyone was always open to help me and just being friendly with me.
Yeah, I think you and I have the same experience
Yes.
as well. I think we spoke about that
Yes, definitely.
privately before. So I think that for you, that's been a very strong support, having that positivity
Yes.
with your friends and family and carrying that positivity and using
I'm
that
very
positivity
emotionally, because of that, I'm
feel
now
right.
very emotionally strong.
Yes.
Very.
Fantastic.
Yes.
And now, in everything that you've done in school and what you do for yourself, you want to carry that on. I know this because I'm a part of this great thing you're doing now. So please tell us a little bit about that endeavor that you're currently focusing on.
Yes. So basically, I've been one of those people who are more entrepreneurial. I always change my careers. And I just decided that just working doesn't make me happy. And I want to do something good for people that are around me. So I decided to create a social group for people with disabilities and create events for them.
Right.
And I called it Social Acceptance for All. It's for everyone with visible, invisible disabilities and their friends, like my sisters and people that don't have disabilities. They can join my events too.
Right. So, ladies and gentlemen, right about now, you'll probably see the logo for Social Acceptance for All and a picture that we took when we were at this event. It was a networking event, and it was all-inclusive. People with disabilities and, I guess, you could say, able-bodied people, for lack of a better way of saying it. So everybody was invited, and we had like 100 people in the room. Eva was great. She had the target and the goal of 100 people, and she got, I think, even more than 100, to be honest, because there were people that came in and out. So you'll see that on your screens soon, but it was a great event. Had a great time, and Eva's goal, I think, is to expand and grow what she's doing with it. And so, Eva, maybe tell us a little bit about your thoughts around expanding the organization and your future plans and so on.
So I want my organization to be around social activities. I am very into inclusive fitness activities, inclusive vacations, inclusive networking events, and in general, anything that's social. I'm open to anything. So inclusive dinners, outings, yes.
We had a conversation once, you and I hope you're all right with me bringing this up, but I had asked you what drove you, what was your passion around doing this organization, because I was so impressed with what you did, the work you've already put in, and how you organized everything. And you had told me that you want to be able to allow people with disabilities to get out, quite literally, to get out of their house, to be open and to be more active and to be more involved in society. Because you and I both know from being people with disabilities and knowing people with disabilities that we're unique.
Yes.
Let's be real. We're it's very rare, and so a lot of people out there, this encourages them, and it's a great thing you're doing. I'm totally supportive, and I've been supportive, and I want to see this grow. So it's a great thing you're doing. So maybe tell us more about it and the plans that you may have beyond just events or beyond maybe even anything out there, because we have an international audience out there.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about people that may want to come on board and help you out. What would be helpful to your organization?
Right now, I just want to spread awareness that events like mine exist, and I want to make sure right now that the events will be monthly, and everyone is invited, regardless if they have visible, invisible disability. So right now, I just want to make sure that anyone who wants to be part of my organization, whether it's a person with disability, a business, or a professional that supports people with disabilities, they can come to my events too. Anyone just can join and just have fun. And it's all about socializing and accepting each other.
Yeah. And so I think you've got our next event coming up. Tell us a little bit about the date, the time, where it is.
And the theme.
And
the theme of the event.
Oh, there's a theme. I didn't know that.
Yes, there is
we go.
a theme.
There's a theme. So,
yes.
Please.
So our next event is November 14th at Center for Social Innovation. The address is 720 Butcher Street, between 7 till 9 p.m. And the theme is fall, meaning fun and loud laughter.
Oh,
and we will be playing games, interactive games, such as Name the Tune and draw a picture and guess the word.
Oh, like Pictionary.
Yeah, I guess, because the last team was just meet and greet, but now everyone knows about it, so we're just having a little bit of, maybe we'll bring some pizza, and yeah, it should be fun.
And that information will also flash up on your screen as well, so that you guys can write it down or take it down or whatever.
I'm very active on Facebook. We have a Facebook group, Social Acceptance for All, and that's where people talk and just tell me their ideas.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes.
For sure. Great. Thank you so much for being here. So that is our episode for today. We look forward to you coming back and joining us for all the other shows on the Disability Channel. But I definitely would love to have you back to come see my next episode in a week. So until then, take care. Bye-bye.